I'm a little delirious today, and I haven't done much eating while I've been here. I'm actually on my way to go eat lunch at the beach as soon as I finish this video, but this thought was in my head, so I wanted to kind of get it out while the getting was good. By the way, I am at the St. Regis Punta de Mita. This apparently is one of the best St. Regises in the world, and that is kind of what has prompted this concept for the video, and that is Ritz Carlton versus St. Regis. Which one is better? Which one is the preeminent, prominent, premier luxury brand within the Marriott ecosystem? I mean, I guess we could talk about maybe Four Seasons, but I'll do that later on the channel when I stay at more Four Seasons. But right now I want to keep it limited to kind of the Marriott properties. So we're going to talk about Ritz Carlton versus St. Regis. But before that, I think I have a few other fun topics to talk about. One is, are you too young for the Ritz Carlton? Are you too old for the W? I'm just going to throw out a couple hotel brands like the W, Moxy, Ritz Carlton, and I'm gonna talk about, are you too young or old to stay there? I definitely think there is an upper limit and a lower limit at W hotels and properties like this. So I'm gonna talk about that. Before I do that, I wanna talk about the St. Regis customer service, which is some of the best in the world. In fact, I believe Apple poached. They stole, I mean, they didn't steal, they overpaid and got these people to come work for them. But Apple was so impressed. It was either the St. Regis or the Four Seasons, I believe. But Apple was so impressed with the way, I think it was the St. Regis, that they trained their staff, that they actually hired their top executives in customer service or whatever to come to Apple and teach their Apple employees how to do customer service at the Genius Bar and things like that. So that's how well regarded and well revered the St. Regis staff was. And again, it was either St. Regis or Four Seasons, but at that point it's tomato, tomato. So where am I going with this? Okay, so, I mean, I'm no stranger to luxury stuff. I mean, this is kind of a luxury channel. I mean, I like my luxury cars, I like my luxury clothes, I like my high-end restaurants. I mean, that's just kind of what this channel is about. So I am no stranger to having rapport or dialogue with, you know, people that work for luxury brands. And I keep on getting asked this one question while I've been here at St. Regis, and I've never really been asked it anywhere, where it's at hotels or whether it's at a shop or whether it's at an auto dealership. They keep on asking this one question at the St. Regis, and clearly they are trained to do that. And that one question is, I won't do a cliffhanger, we'll get into it right now. They keep on asking me, how do I feel? They say, how do you feel today, Mr. Williams? How do you feel? And I've been asked this 10 times because the staff to customer ratio here at the St. Regis, it feels like it's 1-to-1. I mean, I have 3 butlers. Yes, I have butlers. I have 3 butlers who are dedicated to me. And I mean, there's just staff everywhere. So you can't help to run into multiple people per day, whether it's the gym attendant, pool attendant, waiter, waitress, butler, front desk personnel, whomever. I mean, random people just driving around in carts, offering you rides. I mean, the staff here is just phenomenal, and they're everywhere. So you can't help but run into them, and they keep on asking me this question, how do you feel? And you know what? I like it. I like them asking me how I feel. It's not, how are you doing? It's not, what are you up to today? It's, how do you feel today? And maybe that's just what they ask here. I don't know. But it comes off as very authentic and genuine, and just very, very appropriate because you're in a beautiful place. So yeah, I found that to be quite interesting. Okay, quick one before I get to St. Regis versus Ritz Carlton. And these are just conceptual. I'm not gonna do a hardcore breakdown on the St. Regis or the Ritz Carlton. I'll save that for later in the channel when I rack up maybe 5, 10, 20 properties on each side where I can really have a comparison. But is there a comparison? And that's not a dig on either one, but can you compare the two? I'm gonna talk about that. How old is too old for W hotels? I'm gonna tell you right now, and let me know if you agree or disagree. And of course, you can be 22 and stay at the Ritz Carlton, and you can be 62 staying at the W. I've met 22-year-olds going on 42 in terms of their maturity, and I've met 62-year-olds going on 22 in terms of their maturity. So you can always have an older soul or a younger spirit no matter of your age, but I'm talking categorically here. Generally speaking, at least in my opinion, how old is too old for the W? And I'll tell you right now, I'm putting it at 50, okay? I already feel that 40s is pressing it a little bit, but I do see a lot of people in their 40s at the W. But I'm saying when you're 50, you gotta cut it. You need to go just to a Renaissance, you need to go to a luxury collection hotel, autograph collection hotel, Ritz Carlton, or a St. Regis. Now, if I would have made this video a day prior, I would have totally had a different answer. So I went to the pool, and I was one of the older people at the pool at the St. Regis. I could not believe it. This is a top St. Regis in the world, consistently top 5. I guess they go back and forth between number 3 and number 4. Very, very high priced, very luxurious. It's in a very glamorous area here in Mexico. I expected myself actually to be one of the youngest people at the pool, and I was actually one of the oldest. It could be an anomaly. It could have just been one of those weekends, one of those days, or just a random time at the pool, but I was there all day and I had a pretty good sample set. So I found that to be very interesting. So if you would have asked me this yesterday, I would have said the St. Regis minimum threshold would be 35. And I'm still going with 35. Maybe I won't change my answer. I'd say 35, and then it could go into as high as you want because this is such a refined, luxurious place. I don't think you're ever too old for the St. Regis. But I would say 35, but I must say, met some 20-year-olds, met some people in their 30s yesterday, and they were having a fantastic time. But I must say my paradigm was shattered. I did not expect to meet 20-somethings at the St. Regis. So you could make an argument, maybe late 20s, 30s to all the way up towards the end of the age scale. What about Moxie hotels? What about Aloft hotels? I'm gonna put the cutoff, the age cutoff at 40 or 45. I think 45 is pushing it a little bit, but I would say probably 40, especially at the Moxie hotels. The core demographic or the core target market for Moxie is the young, hip crowd, late Gen Y, definitely Gen Z. That seems to be the target market for Moxies. And Aloft isn't too far behind Moxie. So I would say probably 40 at Moxie, maybe 45 at Aloft. And again, this is just fun conversation. If you're 50 or 55, of course you can stay at Moxie. And if you're 23, of course you can stay at the St. Regis. Don't get so literal. This is just kind of like a fun concept to kind of throw around. So let me know what you think. Am I off a little bit on my age ranges, or do you think I kind of nailed it? And let me know if there are other hotels where you think there are definitely age limits, either on the bottom end or on the top end. Okay, St. Regis versus Ritz Carlton. This is just gonna be conceptual. I'm not gonna go hardcore into locations, service, style, design, price. Again, I'll do that probably later on the channel when I rack up more Ritz Carltons. I've actually stayed at quite a few, but I definitely wanna get more St. Regises on the channel before I do a hardcore comparison. But is there a comparison? Because I think that the St. Regis pretty much just one-ups the Ritz Carlton in every category. I mean, location, they seem to have the best locations in the world. I don't believe there is a Ritz Carlton Bora Bora, but there is a St. Regis Bora Bora. This is Punta de Mita, the most exclusive city in Mexico. This property is not a Ritz Carlton, this property is a St. Regis, and I could continue this exercise on and on and on. I think St. Regis probably does have the better property locations. I think St. Regis is more exclusive. I think they have, what, 33 or 34 hotels? I think the Ritz Carlton is approaching 70 or in the 70s by now. So I think with a limited number of hotels, it just adds to the exclusivity, it adds to the mystique. Service, it's not really a comparison. I mean, I have 3 butlers who are available 24/7 for whatever I want. Yes, the Ritz Carlton is nice, but it's not nearly to the level of St. Regis's service. I think style is subjective. I know some people that really like the Ritz Carlton style. I know some people that really like the St. Regis, so I think that's up for debate. But overall, I think that St. Regis is the better brand. Now, you're definitely gonna pay for that uptick in luxury and service and exclusivity. And then that got me thinking, is Ritz Carlton really just like the entry-level high-end luxury? Did I just say that? Entry-level high-end luxury, but think about it. You got your Four Seasons, you got your St. Regis, you also have your Bulgari or Bulgari, you know, the high-end jewelry maker. They have some hotels. You also got your Edition hotels. And of course, there are other great brands outside the Marriott ecosystem as well. But is the Ritz Carlton the entry-level high-end luxury? I think yes, and here's why. Because Ritz Carlton also has Ritz Carlton Reserves, which I have not stayed at. I haven't stayed at any of them, but I definitely will. Are those actually what the Ritz Carlton used to be? Are those what the St. Regis is? Is that the St. Regis competitor, the Ritz Carlton Reserves? That I need to find out. So is Ritz Carlton kind of the entry-level high-end luxury? I'm thinking so. I would have never caught myself saying that a year or two ago, but as I start to think about it more, I think it's probably the case. So I definitely want to check out more St. Regis properties, and I want to check out more of the ultra rare and exclusive Ritz Carlton Reserve properties. The one in Bali looks phenomenal. I think there's one in Thailand as well. I think there are less than 10, and that is the elite of the elite when it comes to Ritz Carlton properties. So just some food for thought. Let me know if you prefer one. Do you prefer the Ritz Carlton? Do you think they're more approachable? Do you think they're a better value because they're a little cheaper, but you still get great luxury? Or do you agree with me? Do you think that the St. Regis has transcended or transcends the Ritz Carlton and is in a different league?